The Lean Leadership Development Model starts with leaders developing themselves so that they can develop others, and support continuous improvement at all levels, and ultimately build a learning organization with aligned goals and plans. All of this is in the service of a vision of contributing to customers and society through coaching rather than issuing orders. This model is inspired by Toyota's success in creating a culture of empowered problem solvers. To do this, leaders outside Toyota who may have lived in command and control organizations need new skills to learn to ask questions, coach others to find root causes, and respect people. By doing so, they can foster a technical and social system that delivers value to customers and employees. Lean leadership is not about settling for mediocrity or compromising on quality. It is about pursuing perfection, even if it seems impossible. It is about creating a culture of continuous learning and improvement where everyone has the opportunity to master their craft and contribute to the common goal. The premise of the book is that Toyota has managed a new and powerful paradigm for developing leadership. Toyota's philosophy and approach is fundamentally different from classical management, which emphasizes leaders as planners, controllers, decision makers, and order givers. We sort the differences that we have observed into two categories. One, those related to how leaders make business decisions and solve problems. And two, those related to leadership style and personal motives. Let's first consider business decision-making and problem-solving. A good process will produce good results repeatedly. A leader who relies on luck or temporary measures to get good results is forcing a bad process. Toyota learns from real problems, not classroom exercises. Toyota's concept of a good process is one that expects and reveals problems without blame. Most Western managers think a good process is error-free, where Toyota believes every process always has waste that can be eliminated. Traditional Western leaders assume employees are selfish and incompetent. Therefore, they use metrics and incentives as carrots and sticks to manipulate their employees. It has been proven by decades of research that this type of leadership kills intrinsic motivation and enthusiasm about work. On the other hand, Toyota leaders assume employees are capable and motivated by a clear vision that is about more than making money, and a degree of autonomy where they can participate in goal setting and take responsibility for using their problem-solving skills to achieve challenging objectives. The real difference is not in the metrics. It is in the dedicated, short, speedy, and repetitive execution cycles of plan, do, check, act, PDCA, for which leaders provide both accountability and support. Toyota's leadership formula is consistent and evolving based on living the Toyota way and learning from various methods and concepts. It starts with careful selection of new hires who are then grown from within and selected for more challenging opportunities based on demonstrated leadership and how they learn from challenges. Toyota values highly competent leaders who repeatedly demonstrate their capability by showing it on the job. First, Toyota needs excellent leaders who are highly competent at understanding the work. so it puts remarkable amounts of time and resources into developing such leaders. Second, leaders must go beyond surface-level understanding to deep mastery of lean thinking. To lead effectively in the Toyota way, senior executives need to visit the Gemba, where the work is done, and coach the employees there. Coaching involves deep understanding, patient dialogue, and direct feedback, which are seen as caring and supportive. Third, Toyota leaders need a passion for true north. True north gives the aspiring leader the faith to go right into the unknown of a new challenge without a ready-made answer. It takes years of training, coaching by sensei, and experience to have a deep understanding of Toyota's vision of perfection. Perfection is never reached, and it is not, in fact, the destination, but what counts is the journey in the direction of perfection. We described Hoshin Kanri as the final stage of linking together the capable leaders developed at all levels to deal with the ever-shifting business objectives for the company in response to an ever-changing environment. Hoshin Kanri is often compared to the roundly criticized management practice of management by objectives, that is MBO. MBO, in the ideal, is a management approach that empowers people by involving them in setting clear goals and allowing them to figure out how to achieve them. However, in a classical management environment where planning and decision-making is a top-down process, MBO devolves into setting objectives, mostly financial, and getting managers at all levels to be accountable for meeting these objectives. Meeting these objectives means figuring it out with little support. In this common practice, MBO can also lead to negative consequences, such as cutting corners to make the numbers and finding quick fixes rather than digging to root cause and overcoming obstacles one by one. As a counterbalance to this unbalanced focus on results only, but still in the context of classical management, some companies have shifted to a more recent trend called management by means, that is MBM. MBM is built on the theory that if managers pursue their jobs in the right way, positive outcomes will necessarily follow. Although MBM seeks to redress the imbalance caused by focusing only on results, it goes too far to the other extreme. If you don't have targets for results, there's no way to know whether you're pursuing those targets in the right way. It's not about means versus objectives, but about both. True lean management recognizes that the target setting process and the pursuit of targets cannot be independent. If you don't set targets in the right way, and if people do not have the skills or motivation to develop a good plan, it's irrelevant whether your management approach is by means or by objectives. We argued in Chapter 2 that every Toyota team member goes through a basic set of development steps at each stage of her development. Following the process of basic learning by copying exactly, Shu, mastering the basics so that they become second nature, Ha, and becoming so masterful at the basics that she can go beyond these and improvise, Re. You don't get to the Re stage as a leader until you can consistently use the right means and achieve the results that you signed up for. It's easy to talk about treating employees as your most valuable asset and about leadership styles that value consensus, teamwork, and patient investment in developing new leaders when a company is making money hand over fist. Toyota's record of meeting its goals and constantly raising the bar is certainly impressive, given the human temptation to complacency. Every leader throughout the company has to be ready to respond rapidly to major changes and participate in mobilizing the organization to adapt to a changing environment. Responding rapidly to major change means more self-development, not less. Demanding more development of others, not just employee sacrifice. Providing more support for daily Kaizen, not canceling Kaizen activities. and driving Hoshin faster and further to look to the future, not only focus on the current crisis. For example, in the Great Recession, when Toyota's Indiana plant had to shut down one of its assembly lines for 3 months due to low demand, no regular team members were laid off. Instead, they used the time to learn new skills and improve the production process. Mike Rother observed many Toyota master teachers at work and concluded that they share an underlying pattern for how they work toward goals and how they coach others. He observed that their approach goes beyond what we think of as problem-solving to fix things, to scientific thinking as a fundamental meta skill to reach ever greater challenges. At a high level, the pattern is to set a big challenge, understand the current condition, set your first short-term focus area one at a time. He called these target conditions. And then do rapid PDCA, experimenting your way to the goal. The method of teaching Toyota calls on-the-job development, that is OJD, happens at the Gemba through issuing a challenge and then coaching by questioning without giving answers to content questions. Toyota Kata was modeled after this Toyota approach to developing people, using ideas from martial arts. Kata and karate are used in the shu stage to practice small skills exactly as the coach directs. The student then has more freedom in the hot and re stage to innovate, and these skills become habitual so the student can focus on the fight. Mike Rother used the pattern he observed at Toyota and developed Kata to be used to learn and teach scientific thinking, working on real problems at the Gemba. The result goes beyond general lists of what makes good coaching to a practical approach for learning how to be a lean leader, that is, a coaching leader. We've emphasized in the Toyota Way to Lean Leadership Toyota's ability to build a strong culture and overcome its challenges. And that is why its leadership model is worth learning from. You can then turn our Diamond Model of Leadership Development around and treat it as 6 diagnostic questions for your organization. Question 1. Is there a shared vision of true north in your organization? We believe that in most companies the answer is no. The vision needs to be believable, actionable, and reinforced in concrete terms as the work is done. When the organization does not have the leadership maturity to handle bold 10-year visions, a midterm vision based on operating principles with clear targets for key performance indicators may be a good starting point. Question 2. Do we have leaders in place who are willing to take on challenges with a positive mindset and develop themselves? The ultimate goal is self-development for all leaders at every level. A targeted approach is needed, such as mentoring senior leaders, taking leaders to suppliers or to your Gemba, and possibly creating a model line or model site. The key point is to start somewhere and then keep learning and spreading. Question 3. Are leaders at all levels embracing their roles as teachers, developing others to lead the way in the future? Self-development is hard, but transforming leaders into teachers may be even harder. Leaders should develop others, not simply give orders, and to do this they need maturity and discipline. The starting point is to make clear the expectation that leaders will develop others and to make that part of their ongoing performance assessment and feedback. Question 4. Are leaders at all levels using a rigorous process to solve the right problem step by step? There are many problem-solving models, 6 steps, 8 steps, which, if followed consistently, will help us develop a scientific thinking mindset. Rother's Toyota Kata is a powerful way of developing people to plan and execute scientifically. which is the best way we know to work through uncertain terrain toward big goals. Question 5. Does the company have an environment in which aligned targets for improvement are developed and good ideas for achieving those targets are shared across the organization? We emphasize that the nature of Hoshinkanri will evolve as the organization evolves. At first, the emphasis often needs to be how we can set the right goals at the top and then measure and reward the achievement of those goals. The most important point about Hoshinkanri is to go beyond debating outcome targets and spend time coaching to get sound plans for achieving goals at each level in the organization. As leaders develop and follow good problem-solving processes, achieving the business objectives will come more naturally. Question 6. Do we use major challenges from the environment to further strengthen our leadership and our company to work toward a long-term vision? Most companies waste a good crisis by panicking and weakening their organizations. A crisis reinforces existing tendencies, making it hard to build a culture of excellence in the midst of the crisis. On the other hand, Toyota uses the crisis as a chance to develop its people and company further, as exemplified by the brilliance of Akio Toyoda in leading through crisis after crisis. Other companies can start building the capability to face the next economic tsunami. What if your CEO is a classical management thinker and believes that the key to motivating employees is to cultivate a culture of survival of the fittest, not mutual development? This is, in fact, the situation in many large organizations. Our answer is you can still get started. We mean that. We've seen many directors and managers become passionate about the Toyota Way and apply its values within their purview. Remember that good problem solving always recognizes the current constraints, and that there are many, many countermeasures that are possible within your purview, whatever your situation. So please try, then reflect, then try some more. Learn about and practice Toyota Kata. If you have an opportunity to engage a sensei, seize it. There's always more to learn, and success generally leads to positive attention and interest from the top and sets you up to start to persuade other leaders. Toyota leadership as a model is not a program with a defined starting point and finish line. Self-development and developing others is a lifelong journey. So, are you up for the challenge?